I'm not really sure how to convey this without coughing, but this isn't Erica's usual baby. The man actually entered the courtroom as though he was going to eat lunch, but instead he dropped bombs like butt texts, screenshots, and full voice messages. The fact that Erica was out there being so false and fabricating stories about that baby is evidence that Mendeecees testified that the entire pregnancy may have been a setup. Wendy tried to step in, but was swiftly shut down. Mama drama. This is pure evil. This isn't a reality show anymore, buddy. If the texts that Mendeecees are sharing are even slightly real, then Erica Mena has just gotten herself embroiled in something that made the entire courtroom freeze as if it were a live broadcast. Who was she messaging while she was lying on that hospital bed? Have you ever witnessed someone destroy their entire reputation in less than 5 minutes? That's exactly what happened when Mendeecees pulled out his phone in court as if it were unimportant and sent out texts that had everyone in the courtroom holding their breath. No, this isn't reality TV. The plot wasn't made up. This was real life, and it was filmed in a federal building. In case you're not aware with this circumstance, let's take a moment to clarify everything. To get the full story, we're discussing Mendeecees Harris, a former criminal who is now a family man and constantly returns to himself, and Erica Mena, a model, reality star, and drama magnate. A few weeks ago, Erica disclosed on social media that Mendeecees was the father of "This is where things become twisted in the middle of the messiest scenarios possible." Her newborn child caused the internet to go crazy. It was popular and was being consumed by blogs like Sunday Dinner, but we thought that was shown by the results of a DNA test. However, now that Mendeecees insiders claim that these communications show Erica manipulating timeframes and threatening to leave, which is why the legal team is questioning those results, he recently disclosed, "Let that rest for a moment," forward implying that the entire pregnancy might have been a sham. If Mendeecees didn't acknowledge the baby and made jokes about it, who would even think of using a look-alike donor to distort the DNA results? But wait, it gets worse. In one of the voice recordings that were allegedly leaked only a few weeks ago, Erica is heard saying prior to the kid's birth, "If you're not going to claim this baby, I swear to God I'll ruin everything you have going. On with your brand, your deals, your marriage, I'll burn it all." Let's discuss timing as soon as possible, because when these letters first surfaced, Yandy acted as like she had seen a ghost in the courtroom. Bro, that doesn't sound like a mother. Rather, it sounds like an entire villain origin tale. The question now is whether this child is real or only a pawn, and if so, how far was Erica really willing to go? But the judge dismissed her objection, stating that he wanted to hear everything. According to one unnamed court witness who acknowledged that they asked to remain anonymous because this situation is getting frightening, Erica was heard giving her assistants instructions to make sure this time, however, he might be the one speaking the truth because the lab worker got his package. Don't get it wrong. Mendeecees aren't angels either. This guy has a full rat sheet longer than a CVS bill. Is this a DNA test or a freaking mafia movie? Provided more than just texts. He also included timestamps, locations, and even video evidence of him approaching Erica weeks before the baby was born. In the video, Erica is seen yelling, "You promise you play along, you're not giving up just yet." Nobody knows yet, but social media is already buzzing about it. One Twitter user remarked, "If Erica truly fabricated the baby to trap Mendeecees, she deserves an Oscar." What were they doing with the false pregnancy, a custody struggle, or a plot involving Mona Scott? This is insane. It's not a custody hearing. Erica exposed and TextSkate are trending back to back. In fact, they might not have been wrong when someone else added, "She moved from Erica Mena to Erica Mendeecees." Let's now talk about why Erica would go to this length. Do you remember last year when she was kicked off a public relations trip for reportedly hitting another influencer on stage because the Flat Tummy Tea Company began to dry her out? Since reputation was already hurting, there was no better way to get attention than to create the most complicated and nasty scandal possible, trapping a man with a child, preferably one who is already well-known, married, and controversial, and making headlines. Away, but if this was a PR stunt, it's backfiring in real time because as the texts were read aloud in court, Erica's attorney started to perspire. Sources claim that he asked the judge for a break and was subsequently seen pacing outside while speaking on. Even though the courtroom was in disorder because of tainted evidence, or the scheme claimed that he looked like a man who had been waiting for this moment for months, he merely sat back in his seat, calm, tranquil, and unconcerned, while the phone said something about males. The judge said, "We'll need to reconvene after a short break, I want, as long as the media believes it." He had finally had enough of playing the villain and talked very little, letting the text speak for him. They read one of the final notes before the session closed. Tech experts to confirm these records. So, no, this isn't the end of it, man. It's just the beginning. And the worst part is that we haven't even talked about the alleged money transfers or the medication's frothy lab results. You heard me right. This problem is bigger than we first anticipated. And in part 2, we're going straight into the flames. According to an unnamed court source, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, Erica turns the script in the most malevolent way. Erica didn't just sit there quietly when guys displayed those receipts in court. Oh no, she was allegedly in possession of her own. Yes, the same person who is always risking their job for the drama. And what was it? A supposedly classified video that was allegedly shot in 2023 allegedly showed a man in Washington, D.C., pacing a hotel room with what appeared to be a used drug kit and shouting into a phone, saying that he couldn't do this any longer with Erica. Although the video, which was purportedly filmed by one of her employees, hasn't been made public yet, some well-known gossip blogs are reportedly already making suspicious offers to buy it. Additionally, Erica has abruptly stopped posting on Instagram. Pictures as though I've been sued and told to keep quiet, but it doesn't stop there. Another anonymous letter suggesting that males entered into a treatment center last year under a false identity soon after the kid was born was uploaded on other gossip websites. Why is this? Taking place notable because he publicly stated that he was working on his marriage with Yandi at the time, which makes sense. Fans are now looking through old tweets, Instagram profiles, and podcast episodes to see if Let's Talk About the real fallout. Insiders claim that VH1 producers are in a panic behind the scenes because of any hints that they resembled Yandi's mysterious September tweet that said, "Royalty shouldn't be confused with stupidity," is allegedly preparing to release a hip-hop atonement and love spin-off that would include Mendeecees Yandi and Erica in an unexpected story of reconciliation, but it has reportedly been shelved completely. As per sources, Mona Scott is even. The worst part is that a civil lawsuit is presently being planned against both Mendeecees and the reality TV network, distancing her from her close friends by declaring, "I'm not touching that mess with a 10FT. Poll. According to sources, Erica's legal team is looking into whether producers knew about the risky situation. If this goes to trial, you can imagine that cast members testifying in unreleased reunion episodes using subpoenaed film, production emails being leaked, and Dove believes Yandi is removing this line, but she posted on her backup page last night, because the main one is clearly shadow banned. She said, "People out here pretending like they're victims when they've been no don't push." Fans are divided between Yandi and Erica's teenagers. One side claims Erica has been maligned while the other side says it's true when even staff members are perplexed. What does that mean? The other side claims she is lying to gain attention and entangling innocent people in her downward spiral. But the fundamental question of whose child it is remains unanswered. According to court records, Mendeecees requested a second DNA sample. She lost it under duress after too long. They are making this catastrophe into event television, but there's a catch. They want the results to be broadcast live on a new tell-all special. There are rumors that a major streaming service will be involved. We let that sink in. This time the test will be conducted under independent legal supervision from Eric's team. According to sources, Safari, Erica's ex-boyfriend, has reportedly sent a cease and desist letter to Hulu, which is negotiating the airing of a limited documentary series based on the case. In a public statement, his team said that Mr. Samuels is not affiliated with any party, and both parties have requested that they stop using his name in any interviews related to the matter. Rich Dallas, the walking red flag and the myth, has apparently returned and is attempting to mediate a settlement. The next court hearing is scheduled for next Friday, and insiders say that both sides are being advised to reach a private settlement. However, at this point, the documentary series is not even reality TV. Rather, it is recording confessionals for the suspect. Mendeecees and Erica are not backing down in reality warfare. In fact, they recently hired new public relations teams, indicating that they plan to fully capitalize on this scandal. Despite Yandy claims that she is over it, don't be surprised when she appears silent. Isn't golden in the world of hip-hop and love? It's suspicious she was outside that courthouse wearing a whole Balenciaga dress, with a baby bottle and a microphone ready to speak. This was just when everyone believed the chaos had abated. Since the subsequent court hearing created a commotion online, the truth peaked. The courtroom was packed with news bloggers, Erica's glitzy entourage, and even two strange former LoveAndHipHop cast members who pretended it was the Bit Awards. Erica's eyes wrinkled as the judge opened the hearing by asking all sides to preserve their decorum. It was about more than just a paternity test. It was about deceit, power, treachery, influence, and possibly even criminal behavior. Mendeecees seemed to have been, we have new evidence not only regarding the paternity, but also about Erica's willful deceit of the digital system. Boom. Mendeecees, Your Honor, was about to settle down for a calm morning when he started to stand up and deliver a bombshell. Manipulation of the first DNA test. He displayed a pile of documents. Mendeecees accused Erica of bribing someone at a private laboratory to make it look as if he was the father, and of trying to bribe a lab employee. The court didn't waver, but this side claims that she sought legal, financial, and viral leverage. Erica's team was furious, and her lawyer called it a desperate attempt by a guilty man to escape responsibility. Instead, she issued a gag order to all parties. An instant inquiry into both parties' accusations. Naturally, this had no impact, because by the time Erica and Mendeecees left the courthouse, two separate blog leaks had already occurred. One of which claimed that Erica's aide acknowledged knowing the test, had been altered, while someone else asserted that Mendeecees' fresh evidence consisted solely of Canva-manipulated screenshots. But the real kicker, Yandy, showed up. Just when you thought she would stay out of the spotlight, Yandy entered the courtroom. The internet went bananas when Yandy appeared in the courthouse foyer with her own attorney and a big envelope in hand. Some fans thought she was there to help Mendeecees, but according to documents that were stolen from a source close to the judiciary, Yandy came to make she claimed that both Erica and Mendeecees had exploited her name and likeness in ways that were liable and psychologically distressing on social media and in public appearances, and she sought a protective order against them. Others believed she was providing her own proof. With hashtags like TalkerBabyGate and This Isn't Love and Hip Hop Anymore, the internet was collapsing as the chaos inside the courtroom was unfolding. Erica's exposure went viral for hours, and conspiracy videos appeared on TikTok, garnered millions of views, and even celebrities started to leave comments. For example, Cardi B recently tweeted, "You all better keep me out of this love and hip-hop nonsense," while Nicki Minaj posted, "A fascinating narrative about how they constantly attempt to trap a man with a baby. We love these anonymous producer leaks." But while fans were laughing and dragging, real consequences were starting to mount, according to an unnamed producer at VH1. New Stay Woke Keke Palmer also responded, "I'm tired, y'all just exhausted." According to insiders close to the entire Atlanta series, Erica was being considered for a redemption plot in a future reboot, but executives swiftly dropped the idea once court documents were obtained. As a result, she is now permanently excluded from any future LHA projects. Mendeecees brand deals were canceled after it was disclosed. According to one beard oil company, "We don't do baby mama chaos." Low-level endorsements disappeared right away, and because Mendez and Erica are both declining, you can guess who Mama Judy, yes Mendeecees, is trying to take center stage again. She kept holding her signature teacup and wearing a bonnet, which wasn't good. I told Handy that she shouldn't have gotten involved. Now have a look at the circus. This is what happens when reality TV gets involved. Way of reality. To be honest, she kind of ate with that one. But now that fans are demanding answers, things take a much darker turn when a blogger who claims to have behind-the-scenes footage reveals that Erica's baby's real father is not Mendeecees or even Safari, but rather a well-known. The problem is that, if it's accurate, everything Erica has done in court has been a setup from the emotional when she first met him last year while appearing as a guest on a pilot episode. The producer is associated with another reality show. A wicked scheme to obtain full custody and widespread sympathy included a bogus test to damage Mendeecees' reputation. And guess what? Yandy's lawyers are reportedly pursuing a separate action against Erica for mental distress defamation and allegations of cyber harassment that her efforts on social media have hurt her. Companies standing and guided her children to suffer from persistent anxiousness. Yes, you are aware of her supporters. Suddenly, Tahiri showed up with a questionable TikTok regarding women who utilize fans immediately embrace parenthood as a weapon. Linked the Erica Mendeecees to it. Incident, the shade at this moment is generational.